about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the Crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If you're listening to the W Show on 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio, or watching us live on one of our social media pages, we appreciate you. You can find us on social media at the W Show KC on any platform you want to find us on. I'm sure we are there. Good morning, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
We're live right here, downtown Kansas City. Rally House Power and Light District is where we are. I'm surrounded by KU gear right now.
I love it.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
A whole lot of it. A whole lot of it.
I think we only have one KU fan on the show, like a legit KU fan through and through. Family loves KU. Grew up watching KU. I think you had to like grow up watching KU in order to be a fan.
Oh yeah, coming out here, I didn't really know how rabid the fan base was.
Oh yeah,
to use that language, but this is glorious. I mean, all of this stuff. They got mugs. They got T-shirts. Shout out Ochai.
We had one of his T-shirts right here.
Yep, exactly. So it's glorious in here.
Rally House Power and Light is where we are. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to, of course, talk about the Royals home opener. They beat the Cleveland Guardians 3-1 on Thursday afternoon. A cold, what is the Winnie the Pooh say? Blustery day. Thursday. It was about 30 degrees outside with the wind chill. So it was a lot of fun out there at Kauffman Stadium. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're going to get into the University of Kansas. They made a stunning second half comeback to win a national title. Jazz, I know she was on pins and needles watching that game. And we'll dive into that. Plus, we'll talk a lot about South Carolina. They won the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship in a comfortable title game victory over UConn. Mm-hmm. Did you guys watch that game?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Sadly. We know who the UConn fan is. And we're going to talk Tiger Woods as he battled his way past the cut line in a windy Augusta in the Masters tournament. And coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll get to our sneakers of the week. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Kansas City Royals beat Cleveland Guardians 3-1 in home opener on Thursday afternoon. I know Steve and I got to tap in out there in person at Kauffman Stadium, and quite the weather, like you said. Steve, what were your thoughts on the game?
You know what? It was good to be back out at Kauffman. I hadn't been to the stadium since 2019, pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last time I was there. But it was a good atmosphere. I believe there was only about 20,000 people or so, give or take. But it was cold. Like if you had to be a legit fan of baseball to be out there with your kids. The stadium was rocking though. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't like the cold, and me and baseball sometimes have a love-hate relationship. But I did keep up with it, and it's always good to get that win on opening day. Bobby Witt Jr. All the Royals fans are looking forward to see what the number one prospect in baseball is about. And 1 for 4 day had a go-ahead RBI double. So that's good. I mean, the Royals, haven't had too much to celebrate in the past couple of years, but I think this is, this can be a turning point if he can, turn into that superstar
and you mentioned superstar. A lot of times you get like, because I believe the last like really superstar that was of this magnitude kind of reminds me of Gordon, where his first 4 years weren't really, what they added up to being as far as his career goes as a Royal, but he had this kind of hype about him, and his first at bat, he struck out, bases loaded. I don't know if our viewers or listeners remember that, or even if you guys remember that, but bases loaded, Gordon's up, strikes out. And Bobby Witt Jr., he gets up, and I mean, fans are expecting it, and he did it. He came through. For that to be your first game, home opener, you're starting, you're in the lineup. I feel like the sky's the limit for this kid. And I think this is going to be one of those years that I'm predicting it now. What's the date? April 9th, 11:06 and 3 seconds here at Rally House. I'm saying it right now. The Royals will make the playoffs.
Royals in the playoffs.
They will make it. That's a bold statement, but
okay,
they started
we'll
off
see.
on the right foot.
I mean,
we'll see.
We will see. We will see.
But that's definitely a lot of pressure for a young kid. Like being that age and being young and stepping into that role, I couldn't imagine. In that first at bat, I don't want to say understand the strikeout, but Jesus, that's a lot of pressure coming on. And I know at the Royals game, seeing it and it coming down, we're in the 7th inning or so, and at that point, everybody's standing up, ready to go home because it's cold. That's a lot of pressure right there. But
I like the lineup, though. The Royals, look, there's a lot of youth, but then there's some veterans. I mean, you get, Whit Merrifield. He's leading off, right? Then you have Bobby Witt Jr., Andrew Benintendi, Salvi, Carlos Santana, Hunter Dozier, Alberto Mondesi, Michael Taylor, and then Nicky Lopez. Lopez is kind of like the sneak, even though they have him in the 9th spot. He's still a slugger. Like, so this lineup, If the Royals don't win 80 games,
80. I was gonna say 80, right around 80.
If they don't win 80 games, something's wrong. Like, this is a year where, look, taking the injuries and everything out of it, if everyone stays healthy, playoffs.
They pick it back up. I can definitely see that happening. I can definitely see slightly above 500 on the optimistic side, but anything can happen.
We're holding you to it, Steve. Now, the University of Kansas made stunning second half comeback to win national title. Biggest comeback. I love it.
You was waiting on this, weren't you?
I was.
Yes, sir.
Now, they were trailing by 15 at halftime. Kansas stormed back to escape North Carolina 72-69.
Shout out to Ochai. I'm going to shout out these Kansas City kids real quick. Ochai and Christian Brown. I'm gonna shout those guys out, and the reason why I'm gonna do that is because they're representing for our city, our lovely city of Kansas City. Other than that, it is. But no. In all seriousness, though, I think this is one of Bill Self's best, coaching seasons, because he didn't have a legit superstar, a guy that. You didn't have an Andrew Wiggins. You didn't have a Ben McElmore, right? You didn't have any of those players on your team. Even though, of course, granted, people would say, well, Ochai was nominated as Player of the Year. He won Big 12 Player of the Year, all that stuff. Fine, cool. But he wasn't like a legit superstar. I mean, he'd have a quiet 20 points. And so I feel like this team, a team of guys that just was able to play well together. And I mean, this is probably one of the best teams that I've seen Bill Self have.
Oh, team wise, they had it all. I mean, they grinded it out, honestly. Like every game, you could just tell we play well together. So you're gonna have to seriously have somebody go for 40, 50 points in order to beat us, because we're worth more than the sum of our parts. And that means we together, individually, we may not be what, a 5-star recruit or a number 1 overall pick, but, together, we're better than everybody else in college basketball. And they proved that, because being down 15 in any basketball game,
16,
yeah. In any basketball game at halftime can be daunting. But once we figured out we're actually better than this team, and then now we got it's magnified because it's the national championship. It's the last game of the season. And they just came back, and it was amazing. I called it right at halftime. I'm like, they're coming back. I'm not worried about it. I know you KU fans, pins and needles, you nervous, you pacing up and down your living room. Nah, they're going to come back, and I saw it in the first couple possessions in the second half.
Speaking of KU fans, Jazz and her family.
Yeah,
The biggest KU fans I know right now.
Die hard.
Like what was the scene like, atmosphere like?
Crazy. Well, I mean, there was a few choice words going into halftime in the living room, of course. Dad's over there in the recliner rocking real hard, upset. And then, same thing. Honestly, we kind of knew. Like, I looked at my dad. I was like, honestly, I'm not really that worried. But but you got to be a little bit worried. Even Christian Brown had said in one of the clips that I know Dave, they were looking at Dave crazy because he was smiling at halftime and was like, we got this. We've been there. And he's like, I ain't never been here before. So it was both sides in our living room, definitely. And then going in, I kept on saying, like, somebody's got to go on a run. And I know there was like Remy that stepped up there, went on a run. Then McCormick stepped up. Then Brown stepped up. So it was only a matter of time. And I felt like they were just chipping away. And then to see them come out on top it was surprising, but not necessarily at the same time.
Felt the same way.
Yeah, but the same thing that they've done to teams throughout the March Madness tournament, right, was done to them. Like, jump up on them early, keep your foot on the gas, except North Carolina wasn't able to keep their foot on the gas. And no disrespect to North Carolina, but they've lost some games like that this season where they've been up and allowed teams to come back in a ball game. And I don't know if it's just because they relied on their 3-ball or what, but it's something that they need to work on next season.
They also don't have that legit superstar that you can. And this basketball is always going to come down to this: who can get a bucket, a tough bucket? Who can just get in that mid-range area? Like, the other team's going on a run. They're like, running, dunking. It's exciting. Who can you give the ball to? And then they just immediately like, all right, I got this bucket right here. North Carolina didn't have that. It was Caleb Love. He struggled in that game.
But those were the same shots that he shot throughout the whole tournament. And just didn't fall.
And I hate to say it, but I kind of called it. It was like, man, these shots, they're difficult shots, man. And when they don't fall, it hurts. Yeah. It hurts. And when you shoot a 5 for 24, like you that's what kind of happens. You lose leads. So unfortunately, that's just the way the game goes.
You know what they say: live by the 3, die by the 3.
And he did. And so we can't fault him for being a kid and having, the gumption to take those shots, because somebody has to take them. Someone has to take those big shots. But he'll be all right, man. He'll be great. So
definitely, I think it was a lot of momentum too. Like, those shots are game changers just to start a run, to start the momentum, stuff like that. And then when you're not hitting, like Noel said, it's a dagger, and it's like, man, what do we do next? And so I feel like KU just happened to be in that momentum second half. They really weren't hitting shots in the first half, not even free throws.
Right.
And then to get the momentum and just roll with it, that sealed the deal.
And what would you say? What did we say about Ochai the last couple of weeks? You've got to show up. This is Final Four. This is where you make your money. I mean, not only for just your team, but for a career. Like, this is where, if you're a lottery pick, that's guaranteed.
You make your money.
Make your money.
You make your money in March.
Yeah, you do. And he did that as far as like the first Final Four game. When he come out, he was like, what, 4 for 4 or 3 from 3 from 3-point range,
hot, scorching.
Yes, and so he did put the ball on the floor. He did kind of put the team on his back. Along with David McCormick, we as much as we talked about how soft David McCormick was throughout the tournament, he stepped up. He really did.
I feel like he should have won the most outstanding player in the Final Four. If I'm like,
sure?
he won, like, he averaged like 20 and 9. Yeah. And those are, and on like what, 64% shooting. That, to me, that says most outstanding.
Yeah.
I feel that way. I'm glad Ochai won it, but I feel like Dave should have got a little bit of love there. I really do.
Yeah. But here's the thing about McCormick, though. If North Carolina's big man would have been healthy, right, would he have been able to be as dominant? And he wasn't really even that dominant, to be honest.
No, he wasn't.
Like, he did what he was supposed to do, but did he like dominate the game? No.
No, nobody on KU ever really will dominate. Like we said, they are a team.
Yeah.
It's not really
True. That's why I like this team.
Yeah, no,
I really do.
I mean, how would you guys rank this against the 2008 championship team? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
You had superstars on that team. I mean, you had Brandon Rush, you had Mario Chalmers, you had a lot of guys Frank Mason.
Who wasn't on the 2000?
No, he wasn't. No, Frank wasn't on that 2018.
2008. Yeah,
yeah,
2008.
you had who else was a big man? Sheesh.
I'm trying to think. It wasn't Sharon? Was Sharon on that team?
Sharon Collins was on that team. Yes,
superstar.
Yeah,
like, to me,
but he wasn't a superstar then. Not until Mario left.
Yeah.
So you had a bunch of guys that had names like nationally ranked guys, and so this team, I think it was more a collective unit.
Another unit, South Carolina won the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship in a comfortable title game victory over UConn. They're national champs once again, and on Sunday night in Minneapolis, they held off UConn in a low-scoring game, 64-49. Noel, we'll start with you.
I loved it. The thing I liked about this game is, I mean, you got UConn, their blue blood program, South Carolina blue blood program. The thing I liked about this was, it's gonna sound so strange, but I like the swagger of South Carolina.
But you know where that comes from,
yeah,
though.
Of course,
it starts up top with the coach,
and it leaked. It was so much that it leaks into the way they play. Like it was just like it was buckets. Like it was buckets going on, and it was lock up on the other end, and it was stuff talking. It was a little bit of grandstanding. It was like, yeah, haha, like we're great, we're better than you guys, like, and I loved every single second of it. So shout out Coach Staley. You have something that, like, other people, they're gonna try to replicate, but you are right now, you're the blueprint. This is our second national championship with USC. Calling it USC now, instead of but it was amazing. I loved every second of that game. Everybody likes UConn, of course, but y'all can't win every year. So,
but it shows that she can coach though too. Like she's just not one of those coaches that'll get the
national requisite,
the typical one and done young lady. Like she had Destiny Henderson. She even said it post game, like, shout out to the parents. Like Destiny's parents trusted her, and she sat her first 2 years, right, and then was able to play the last couple years. And so her mom was like, "Nah, you gonna stick it out. We trust in what you offering our kid. We trust." And so I think a lot of parents should be like that, but they understood that she's a winning coach, and you talked about just how the mentality of the team, and it starts with her, and you can see just the swag though. Like we'll get into her attire a little bit later, but like you could just tell, man, she carries it on her back. You could tell she carries the target that's on her back, very much so. And I like it.
And I love Henderson. She's a dog, man, out on the court. And you can almost tell how confident she is. Like, hey, I sat my first 2 years. I earned where I'm at right now. You can tell the way she carries the ball. And then her and Boston working together, I think it's so funny because she, Boston's got her shots that she fires, and she's confident too. So I like watching it. I think it would be a fun squad. And even looking at like the clips of them dancing together after the game, I'm like,
swag.
It's just different.
Man, I can't wait to watch them go on this run, because she's gonna get all the players that like really like, she already got the top players, but now it's like
it's more magnified.
I can really hoop. I can really play my game at this blue blood program. I'm going there. So UConn
so like when players choose colleges, they're choosing them like, all right, can they send me to the league? Like the real players, if you're going to Big D1 like that, it's like, all right, my next step is to the league. And can she send me to the league? Yes, she can.
Yep.
And she knows exactly what it takes to right down to the details of actually being in that position, because she was. Yeah. So
she's a modern day Pat Summitt, if you ask me.
Oh, amazing.
Gino Ariamo was so mad though.
He was. He was salty.
Mad.
He's a very competitive individual. You can tell he was salty. He didn't want to give the proper props, which is cool. Whatever.
I knew it was a wrap. In the first quarter when they talk to the coaches, kind of like they do in the league, where they the
interview.
In mid game. So they asked him. They said, "What do you think that you need to do?" And he's like, "Oh, well, we need to kind of regroup." When he said regroup, no one says that in the middle of a game. We need to regroup. That means everything that you've put forth your effort to drawing up and prepare for, that means you're throwing that out the window. You're
Back
trying
to
to
the drawing
create
board.
something else. Yeah. So regroup. That was the wrong word to say.
Yeah, definitely.
He knew. He probably knew. He
And
knew.
We've been talking about Paige the past couple of weeks. What did
Mm-hmm.
you guys think of her performance and how it pans out?
She didn't have anybody else.
True.
To me, it was like she tried to do it on her own. Like some of the moves, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
She's a PG, man. It's hard to.
She was the best player on the court,
She was.
honestly.
I mean, she's a PG though. That also usually equates to being the smallest person on the court, and when I don't know, it's basketball. The taller people typically win, and so that South Carolina had the bigs, had the wings, and Paige is just
One
the point
man.
guard. Yeah, so
And sometimes I think when you had that target on your back like Paige did,
they gonna
teams
go
are going to tee off on you.
Yeah, they're gonna go at you.
It's like
Yeah,
national
they gonna-
championship game. We're going to show why we should have those. We talked about our NIL deals.
Yeah.
We should have those same NIL deals that you got.
Exactly.
Facts.
You got to
So,
show us.
yeah.
You got to show us. We with you 94 feet. You got to show us like why you earned this. And I mean, she didn't play horrible, but she lost. She did lose. I mean, it is what it is. So,
And another shout out to Henderson because she played some D. She even said in the after press conference, like, I had one job, one focus, and I had to lock in. So
she surely did.
she did that. So NFL opening pathway for African players with their first camp, following camp this past weekend with Cleveland Browns linebacker Jeremiah, who is of descent. The league announced a 3-day camp will take place in the capital in June. Steve, we'll start with you.
I like it. Even though we talk about how the NFL is trying to create this narrative to where they have always supported the black players, right? And I think they're behind the 8 ball. We say it every week. It's like if you feel like you were supporting the black players, you're putting it out there. Okay, we're starting the NFL Africa. We're starting all this stuff. But where was it 10 years ago? Where was it when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for police brutality? Like you're behind the 8 ball now because you're getting sued by a former black head coach.
After getting sued by Kaepernick.
Yeah, after getting sued. So now you have all this stuff lingering over your head. It's like, oh, we need some PR. We need this. We need it. Okay, well, what has the NBA done? Oh, well, they have a thing over that they're doing with Luau Deng over in Africa. Oh, well, let's try something like that.
It's another Band-Aid, I think.
Band-Aid for a bullet wound. I heard that saying, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? That's crazy because you can't put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. You got to go to the hospital.
Gosh, you need all of it.
You need a whole bunch of stuff. So, the NFL, I mean, I don't like to be too hard on them because they know what they're doing, man. Like, just get it together and do what you're supposed to do. But this is a step in the right direction. Just continue. Just keep going. Keep, empowering these black players, these black coaches, because your league is 70% black. And so you just have to do that. You can't be sitting over here not empowering these players because this is what your league is. Like as much as like you see the owners there, they all look a certain way. No, this is what your league actually is. This is what your America actually is. So
and I think it'll be interesting to see how much they market that. Like, it's one thing to go start it and put it out there that, oh, we did this, but how much are you actually going to show it over here, advertise it over here, and push for that? I think that'll be more to prove whether it's just a Band-Aid or if they're actually about it. So,
but then you get a guy like O.C. Umenyiora, right? That is, everybody knows who's O.C. Umenyiora is. One of the best defenders ever in the NFL.
Giants, great.
And, so I think when you get a guy that's going to be a spokesperson for it, similar to the NBA with Luau Deng, right? I'm sure there were some others that just, doesn't ring a bell right now. But you've got to get in front of stuff. And if the NFL is not going to be on board, like the MLB has been, forward thinking, and the NBA, you're always going to continue to be behind the 8 ball. And I think they have to get some guys in the front office that, make stuff make sense.
Of course. I agree. 1,000%.
Now, LA Lakers eliminated from playoff contention after 7th straight loss. Steve, how do you feel?
He feels refreshed because he's finally been put out of his misery. He can finally reflect, the however many stages of grief that you have to get through. That's how he feels, right? Am I correct?
Well, here's the thing. And I'm gonna make it short and sweet. If LeBron was like that, he would have had his team at least in the playoff
Here
game.
we go.
If he was like, come on, man. I've seen so many.
Man.
You gotta play. I don't care if your ankle is about to fall off. You gotta play in that last game. You do.
Nah.
You gotta at least suit up.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is the
to
way
me,
I see it. This is the
to
way
me.
I see it. I feel like if he could have played, I feel like he would have
He
played.
wouldn't. He was not gonna
So,
play.
I mean, if he could have, so he could not. He did not have the capabilities to play in
Mentally.
a NBA game.
Mentally.
Whatever. He did not have the capabilities. He's played in more games and minutes than anybody else in NBA history. I
Kobe
feel
would
like
never.
But I mean, we don't know that. We have no idea. We don't have nothing to prove that Kobe would not, in this given situation specifically, he would have played.
But here's the thing, too.
So-
But here's the thing, though, in all seriousness, I feel like they should have traded Anthony Davis earlier this season. And the reason why I say that, people are like, oh, well, he's the best player on it. Dude, get what you can get for him and go get some other pieces that can help you in the long run. AD helped you do what you need to do as far as win a championship. But now he's continuing to stay hurt, and if not, LeBron is on the chopping block. If I'm Lakers front office, LeBron is on the chopping block. To be honest, I'm putting.
So what do you? Think
I'm at
you
least
could get
answering
for him?
calls.
What do you think you would get from him?
Something, because if you don't, next year he's a free agent, and then what? You know he's probably going to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're going to be scratching your head like, what? Now what?
But to bring other people in, you need LeBron there. That's an attraction.
You don't. That's LA. LA's attraction all on its own.
So what happened? I want to know when people say that LA is attraction, because it is. We were there.
Yeah.
We understand.
Would you rather be in KC or LA?
We understand.
If I say, hold on, wait. If I say no, we're moving the
KC
W
doesn't
show
have
to LA. What you gonna say?
Casey don't have an NBA
No,
team.
wait. No. Answer my question. If I say no, would you rather leave the W show in KC, or would you rather move it to LA? What you gonna tell me?
I mean, it speaks for itself. You obviously know the answer to that.
I'm
What
going
I'm saying
back to Cali.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that. You know what?
Yeah,
you
have
threw
to
me off
answer.
with that last
Yeah.
because that is.
Yeah, I mean, LA is an attraction.
It is, man.
It
But
is.
I'm just saying that, like, the LA Lakers haven't been the destination that it was until LeBron came back.
Exactly.
Then people went there. Before that, people didn't want to play for LA, man. It was just like, we
Preach.
ain't really.
I think more or less they didn't want to play with Kobe. That's just what it was. I mean, you just be honest, they really didn't. They felt like it was Kobe's team. They understood that. And guys, they understand LeBron like he's the friendly guy. He's not like a villain, right? Like Kobe was. He was a villain. Nobody really wanted to play with him. And Brian, and another reason I say that is because most guys superstars become jump shooters when they play with Brian. Whether y'all like to hear it or not, they really do.
Unless you like that. Unless you are a Kyrie Irving,
yes, Dwayne Wade.
Unless you are like, and that just proved my points. Because if you're not like that, give the ball to me. Like, you're not like that, give it to me. Like
Look, but here's the thing. I feel like they could at least answer some calls about LeBron.
I agree. I agree. You never know what somebody is thinking. I mean, somebody might want to take that on, and but I mean, it being like you said, him being a free agent here soon, that'll be kind of tough. That'll be kind of tough sell. Like 1 year of LeBron, 1 year of a circus, and then you might not get a chip out of it.
If I'm Minnesota, if I'm who else? The Knicks.
Wow, the Knicks.
If I'm the Knicks, if I'm teams like that, man, look, I'm selling the farm to get him for 1 year.
To get him
He's
for
gonna
1
at least
year.
fill up our arena.
Nah, you gonna get
gonna make something.
LeBron will bring that Brinks truck out. He will get you paid. That is one thing he will get you.
And if he like it, he might stay.
He might stay. We'll see. We'll see. But Lakers, they stunk this year. It is what it is. Worst year in franchise history.
Yeah.
I agree.
Drop the mic. Yep. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss Tiger Woods battles his way past the cut line at windy Augusta in the Masters tournament. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City.
KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City!
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we will talk about whatever topic you want. Now, Tiger Woods battles his way past the cut line at windy Augusta in the Masters tournament. Steve, we'll start with you.
You can never count Tiger Woods out. Like there were so many people. I saw y'all tweets. I saw you tweeting. It's like, what is Tiger doing? Like he's not gonna make it. He better make the cut. Nah, man. Tiger just he wants it. You can tell, and I think it's more of a I wanted to make the cut type deal. And now he's playing with house money. It's like, okay, I made the cut. I did that. So now let's just go play golf.
Yeah. I love it. It's just that competitor in him that he has. He's battled through so many injuries. I saw a list of all his injuries, and I was like, wow, he's gone through all of that. I didn't even know. He's had like 5 or 6 surgeries on his knees. Golf is one of those sports that, it hasn't really been popular unless you had like a superstar like Tiger.
Right.
Like I hate to say it, and I mean it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, but literally I remember growing up, there would be segments on ESPN without talking about the Masters or any other of those big tournaments. When Tiger came along, it was on there. There was like you would have 2 or 3 segments of Tiger golf on ESPN. So I just think it's good that we have him back.
Do you know how big Tiger Woods is?
He's huge.
The fact that you have the #1 player in the world right now,
killing it,
Scotty Scheffler,
killing it,
and they don't even show his group. They don't show his grouping at all on TV.
It's all about Tiger.
It's all about
and you can just see the people on the sides. You can just see how in tune they are. They're just staring at him, just like
Scotty Scheffler's 8 under right now. You know how hard that is?
Oh, so he's not 6 under now. He's 8.
He's 8 under.
Oh my God.
Like he has a 5-stroke lead.
Oh,
he has
man.
a 5-stroke lead on the next golfer. And they're not even showing that.
The average person does not know
Tiger's
who
where
that
we're
is.
just living in it.
Yeah.
Literally. And Tiger is probably somewhere way on down the line.
Tiger's tied for 20th, but I mean, you got 2 days left. Anything can happen in golf. But I don't know if you're coming back from 8 under. Like,
no, I feel like, as far as Tiger, where Tiger is, I feel like it's going to be really tough for him. But we just love to see him back. We love to see him acting the way he acts on the course. The cussing, the all of that. We love it. We love it.
Definitely. Now, Notre Dame makes a historic football game versus Tennessee State. They'll make history in 2023 as their home opener will be with Tennessee State on September 2nd.
This is cool. I like it. I like what Notre Dame is doing, highlighting a historically Black college university in that school. But I think right now HBCUs are like the hot thing.
Definitely.
right? They're the. I mean, we saw it
Jumping on the bandwagon,
They're,
basically, like
they're
we
doing
said.
and culture vulture is what you can call them, really.
Mhm.
And there was the coach for Notre Dame doesn't really even want to play him, right?
So is Brady Quinn, their former quarterback, Brady Quinn? He doesn't like the fact that his alma mater is reaching back and to him reaching down and trying to lift up this school, which I think is just uttered. Like there's no class in his statement, basically, because I mean it really is about helping these schools. Like these younger generations are trying to help these schools out, and he's like, no, we shouldn't do that. We should stick to tradition. We're trying to win a national championship.
What's wrong? What happened is kind of like when KU didn't want to play MU for those multiple years, right? They're scared to lose. If you lose, they're gonna start losing recruitment.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like it ain't even about that, man. If you're really worth your salt, you're not going to lose to this team, but if you lose, then that just means guess who's coming? These HBCUs are coming. So I don't know, man. I like it. I'm glad they're doing it.
First game of the season, though. Oh yeah, y'all take an L. Yeah. Hold this L.
And everybody's gonna be at the home opener.
Oh so. yeah. Coach Eddie George. He's the coach at Tennessee State. I'm congratulations to him for getting this done. It'll be great. I will be watching. Actually, I want to see what happens because I personally am a Notre Dame hater. I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't know what it is.
Rudy?
Watch Rudy
and make you love Notre Dame.
Nah, can't do it. Sorry, can't do it. Nope. Cannot do it. So, yeah, but it's great. It's great. I'm glad that they might be culture vulturing, but as long as it's helping this school out.
Definitely. And I love it for the opportunity. I know we started with more pro days and stuff like that. So seeing them being on those bigger stages and getting that exposure, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
MLB to allow electronic pitch signaling devices. Dieter signs stealing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I do. I mean, it's not going to mess up the game. So many classic baseball fans are like, well, why are you guys doing this? Why? Well, the Houston Astros
People
are
be cheating. People be cheating,
but
man.
you know that if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, we know the saying on the W. So,
but here's the thing, though. I don't think it'll mess up baseball at all. I really don't. I feel like it's the catcher is, and it's between the catcher and the pitcher, and the pitcher is going to have the earpiece in his ear, and whatever button the catcher presses, that's what's going to come through the ear of the pitcher, and
that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, is it not the same as like people being up in the press box, looking down, talking to the QB, stuff like that?
Same exact thing. It's literally just having that little in your ear, like, hey, run this play. Yeah. That's literally all it is. So I don't know why people are making a big deal. We live in a technologically advanced, world. So why not?
Definitely. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hate It or Love It segment. Kick it off with our Sneakers of the Week. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
With Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City!
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we will talk about whatever topic you want.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off the sneakers of the week, we have the Air Jordan 5 Jade Horizons.
They're okay. I mean, it's like that minty kind of greenish, kind of olive-ish. Is olive-ish a word? I
don't really even
It's
know.
green.
Yeah.
They're all right.
I'd rock them.
They cool. I I don't know. Fives are great, but I ain't really feeling that color that much.
And then you got, it's like a dirty, dingy kind of.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at with it. It's that deep, like that deep gum that like it looks dirty. Gum you want it to be look clear. Cool. I'm cool.
The Air Jordan 12 Low Golf Metallic Golds.
Yes, I wish I
Stephen Golfer to the T.
Like these right here are like pristine. I couldn't get them. Like I tried.
Oh, for real? You tried?
I tried.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So Jordan golf shoes are selling out now.
They've been selling out.
That is insane to me
Like-
because the football cleats, they don't sell out. They
Baseball,
sit.
baseball either.
They sit.
You spot them in Dix and whenever you want to.
That's what I'm saying. So the fact that the golf ones are, wow.
Because the golf one, like they don't make as many. I don't feel like of golf.
Of course.
And these are these are one of my favorites. Then you have the fours that they've come out with.
Columbia 11.
Then you had the 11s. You had a 13. All of the Jordan golf sneakers that they've had so far have been like fire. The past 4 or 5 years, man. Look.
Interesting.
Then you get like some off brands that you can go find at Marshalls or somewhere. Like, no, I'm not knocking Marshall or nothing, but I want these. I want the ones that not everybody can get.
Yeah, no, that's quite interesting to me.
So you can. There's a company now where you can get like the golf spikes and you can screw them into, like, if you have a sneaker that you want to turn into spikes for golf. So I have my Concord lows that I haven't worn in years that are just sitting, and I'm going to turn those into the next golf tournament, I believe, which is the third and long golf tournament. Derek Thomas and Neil Smith third and long coming up May 7th. Which plug. If you guys haven't signed up, go sign up if you're a golfer. But I will be wearing those in that tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you gonna be looking good. You gotta play good.
Oh, man.
you gotta live up to it.
Don't be out there, plus the 10 over. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the Yeezy 350 Boost V2 Zebras.
Yeah, we back. We bike.
Very nice.
I'm telling you, I have never owned a pair of Yeezys. I want Yeezys, but I just haven't owned a pair.
I rock them for sure.
Oh yeah, no, these. I mean, these to me, these were like one of the best 350 releases. So they are not available. They're gone. They're all gone. Every single pair, unless you want to pay above retail.
Ooh.
Good luck.
My personal favorites this week: the Nike Dunk High Pink Primes.
I'm a connoisseur of pink shoes. I like pink and white shoes. Pink and white shoes really, really pop to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. I like them. I definitely rock them.
Interesting. That's surprising, both of y'all, because like you never pink shoes. I'm like, no, I don't like pink shoes.
These are different though.
Okay, all right.
I know. I'm like, honestly, I would rather have them as lows, but like still, like that color pops, like it goes. So
what you wearing with those?
With those,
yes.
Let me see here, man. I might. It's gonna be blue jeans. It's gonna be blue jeans. Maybe a darker blue.
That's gonna bleed over into the white and the pink.
I mean, it could. Maybe I'll rock a jean that I've had for a while. I've the color is all washed out of there like that. But other than that, I don't know, man. But it's just that pink does it for me.
See, I'm going black. I'm going like a black ripped jean, white tee, like maybe a plain white tee.
Okay.
Throw some jewelry with it, and then have the pop of color with the white and pink.
Okay.
Yeah. You think Dawn Staley would rock these?
I see the vision.
I do.
I see that she
I
probably
do.
will next year. They are sponsored
depending on who they're playing.
True. Well, she made a fashion statement during Women's National Championship game. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
Love it. I
I
mean, I hate that I'm not able to like afford this glorious piece of clothing, but I love it for her because she looked amazing in it.
Facts. The varsity jacket that she wore, it was a Louis Vuitton, and it was worth $4,850.
$4,000.
Pretty penny, and it had the matching shoes to it too.
She just
swagged out. Big drip.
I love it.
I love
everything about it.
As soon as I saw the L, because I saw like the jacket, I'm like, oh, okay. And I saw the L that's like right on her right, I believe it's the right rib cage. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, and that's when I text you. I'm like, you see her jacket?
Tough. I said, I already seen it, man. That's tough.
We're entering a new age. Where like you can't just be on there on the sideline with the standard suit, tailored maybe. Nah, you better step it up. Like get you something different. Different, man.
I'm liking it because before it was like, oh, it looks like a coach, like the suit and everything. But then it really like speaks to how you're hip with your players, you're hip with what's going on. And if I can look at before, you're looking at your coach, you're like, oh, she got the same, just this red suit this week,
Just regular.
But if she comes to the game like that, I'm like, okay, coach, I see you.
That might make me want to play better. I don't know why. It's just like, man,
coach
I gotta show out. Like,
definitely
amazing.
Now Nike is synonymous with Tiger Woods, but the swoosh isn't on his shoes at the Masters. Hate it or love it.
So what's the deal here? What's the story here, Steve?
Tiger Woods is Nike Golf.
I mean, yeah.
Like when you think of Nike Golf, you think of Tiger Woods.
Ain't no.
And so the you've never seen Tiger without a Nike on his.
But he's got the Nike shirt on though.
Nike
so
shirt,
like, what's
Nike
the deal with the shoes? Like, what's he got going?
I think it had a lot to do with the like orthotics type deal, because of the leg surgery, and I think that had a lot to do with it. And I was talking to my barber yesterday, and I was like, man, so Tiger really isn't wearing Nike shoes. Like this is a first. And he said, man, Nike has missed they missed it. They missed a huge opportunity because let's just say Nike came out with the orthotic for Tiger Woods to put in his shoes. That thing those shoes would sell like everybody who has any kind of foot back problem or any type of problems, they would sell out instantly.
I need the backstory on this because how can they miss it? It's like, all right, our number one athlete is back. Forget the rankings, forget all. Like you said, Tiger is Nike Golf. So how do you miss on this? How do you not get him into a shoe that works perfectly for him and has a giant old swoosh on it? Like, how?
He went with the FootJoy. He went with the FootJoy, their premier golf shoes. And so, I mean, I think look, Nike didn't know that he was going to be participating in the Masters. Like this was just Tiger,
he's a wild card.
They showed him and it was like, oh, Tiger's heading to the Masters. They didn't know that he was going to play.
Tough.
But you got to have that ready regardless.
You got to have somebody on the team like, hey, Tiger, like, hey, what's going on? You going to play? I got a shoe for you just in case, just specifically for you. Like, wow.
They missed it.
Yeah.
Big time.
They probably, company probably threw him a bag, could have been.
Now, a reporter asked Jalen Green what he has learned about himself this past NBA season. Let's hear what he had to say.
Looking back to October, November to now, where do you think you've grown like as a person? What have you learned about yourself through this rookie year?
That I'm a bucket and I just need to stay confident in myself. But yeah, I mean, that comes with playing the games and seeing it right in front of you, and it's going to eventually slow down. But yeah, it's going to come down to work.
Josh was just in here saying.
And I'm a bucket.
Yeah, I'm a bucket. What else you got to ask me? That's the kind of mode he had, like that I'm a bucket. Can't nobody guard me.
There it is. That's the one. Can't nobody out here guard me. That's what it is. I love it when, you act those people, those athletes actually say what they want to say. I mean, he's young, so he hasn't, gotten all the way into the game, but he's there. He's at the NBA press conference. He just dropped 30. He's like, you know what? I ain't gonna say, well, I'm glad my teammates passed me the ball, which is true. That is true. But I'm glad he went.
And Josh came down. Josh Lewis, CEO of Up Down, he was down watching the show, and he was like, "Oh, well, who can the Lakers get?" We talked about the Lakers earlier. Who can they get for AD? Hey,
they not trading
put a package together and say, "Hey, you can have Trevor Ariza, you can have AD. Give us Jalen Green. Give us Jalen
Houston
Green."
ain't going there. They just because of that press conference there, they like, this is our guy. This is our guy. We're not giving him up. So I'm glad. I'm glad he. The question was, I like how you related it back to. That's what I learned. I have to stay confident.
Yeah.
Like he didn't just say, "I'm a bucket." Next question.
I thought he was.
Yeah, he related. He was like, "Yeah, I needed to know that I am this, so I have to stay confident." So
definitely, and I love the confidence. Like Noel said, it's like in those press conferences, sometimes it can get like monotonous, where it's like the same things. They're trying to sound professional,
PC,
but finally, like just being able to say that and the confidence in anybody watching that going forward, like an opponent is like, all right, this guy, he knows he's about it.
Y'all know who gives PC answers that I just hate? The fact that he just doesn't say what's on his mind. Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
He like you can ask Patrick, "Oh, you were counting on your fingers after you scored that touchdown." We all know that. Oh, well, when he played, who was it? The Bears, that they didn't pick him.
Yeah.
And they picked I think it was Trubisky. They picked
Mitchell
Trubisky.
Trubisky,
So he was counting on his fingers like, "Oh, this how many picks." Come on, man. And when he's asked, like, "Oh, I don't remember doing that." Oh, I was he was so PC about it. Come on, Patrick. Tell him how you feel. Like there's no reason to be. Yeah, there's no reason to continue to be PC. You've won NFL MVP, regular season MVP. You've won Super Bowl MVP. You won a Super Bowl. Come on, man.
I got 5 million reasons why he should say what he wants to say. Like, hey, listen. You see this I would carry that contract around. I would carry a copy of that around with me. Like, hey, this is why I get to say what I want to say here. So shout out you, Patrick. We want to hear it next season if you can. Like, give us a little bit. Give a little bit something.
Yeah, that's so when you're able to do that, that's just saying like in professional sports, I've arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. I've arrived. But it is what it is. It takes a special kind of player to say it and then go out there and do it.
Exactly. You got to have somebody. You have to have that special it factor.
Definitely. Now, Colin Kaepernick isn't afraid to say it. He brings a message of inclusion and identity in First Children's book, I Color Myself Different. Hate it or love it.
I love it. I love it. I didn't even know he had come out with a book.
No, I didn't either.
In the book, he
Yes, sir.
gang.
In the book, he remembers kids asking, "Why are you the only brown one in your family? And why did you color yourself different?" And Kaepernick, who is biracial and adopted by white parents, drew the parents in yellow and then drew himself in brown. So that was the tag to it.
It's dope.
I like that.
And so I wonder, so is it in stores?
I'm not sure that it's dropped yet. Let's see.
You know what's crazy? That mug could sell out. Everything, like it could sell out.
Like his jersey. Like when they came out to put the Nike Patrick,
the black one,
the Nike Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, I tried to get it.
No,
instantly.
it was no. So
and it's going for a pretty penny right now too. Yeah. So the thing about Colin Kaepernick, there's so many different opinions about what he should be, what he shouldn't be, what he's done, what he hasn't done. Man, let it go. If he continues to do positive things like this, then forget.
I don't quite understand it. Like he hasn't. I don't think he's missed since he's made his statement. Like he's stuck to his guns. Exactly. So I'm not mad at it at all.
Definitely. Now it'll be published on April 5th of next year. So look for it. Definitely. We'll have to get us one.
Can we get an advance copy?
We would love one.
Cap, you hearing us? Let us get an advance copy.
We rock with you.
LeBron James says, son Bronny, Steph Curry, top list of players he wants a team with. Hate it or love it.
I love it, man.
Come on.
Let that man. So we just talked about people who've arrived. There's nothing else on his resume that he needs to like update, improve. So he's like, I get to say what I want, and I want to play with my son, but I also want to play with another top 5 player in the league that I haven't got a chance to play with, and that's Steph Curry. So
I get him wanting to play with his son, but you wanted to team up like KD. That was the issue that I had with KD. You go team up with a team that beat you.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's the problem.
KD in his prime versus LeBron, 40 years old.
Steph ain't having it. Steph is not having it.
Steph wouldn't say it publicly, but I think he would like to play with LeBron James.
I think he would.
I think we've got Steph. What did he have to say?
You know what? Hey, he might want to play with you next weekend now.
That is phenomenal. When did he say that? Was that on the shop?
Yeah,
I
guess the latest one. Yeah.
No. Well, we got his wish. So he's the captain. He's picked me the last two All-Star games. So I don't know if that suffices, but I'm good right now.
How's that make you feel, though?
Good right now. I mean, whenever you get the interest or curiosity of what it would be like to play with, arguably, MVP kind of caliber dude like he is, and one greatest of all time. Cool. Like, it's amazing.
Right.
We all can live in that fantasy world, though.
Fantasy world is what it is. So what did LeBron actually have to say?
Steph Curry's the one that I want to play with for sure in today's game. All time. It's crazy, man. I love Scottie Pippen, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
And he said when he gets out of his car, you better guard him right from the moment he pulls up to the arena.
And these are facts. These are facts.
He want a shooter. That's all.
I mean,
you understand, Brian. You want a shooter.
He ain't really
honestly,
had none this year.
That's tampering, Brian. You cannot do that. You can't say that. that's tampering. That's what that is.
I thought he's under contract, man. Steph under contract.
That's tampering.
Man, I like it just because LeBron knows he could never. He can't. It's not set up right now to where he could ever play with Steph Curry. But he's just like, man, I would like to know what it's like to play with that dude. Just like kind of, you growing up, you got your people across town that are, they hoopers like you are, and I'm like, you know what? He's my rival, and I really hate him. But I wonder what it's like to like really hoop with him. Like, what is it like to be in the locker room with him? What is it like to be on the court?
It's too friendly.
What do you want, man? Like, what do you want? You want him to say, I hate him?
It's too friendly.
I hate Steph Curry.
No,
I don't want to.
You're going to be where you are, and I'm going to continue to be. Look, if I'm LeBron, I understand I have nothing else to prove. But one thing I do have to prove is that I can do it solo. That I can go out here and make these guys better. I can make these guys turn these guys into.
He's proven that.
With who? Where? Who? How has he proven that?
His championship with Cleveland literally proved all of that. Because what was Kyrie doing before he got there? What was Kevin Love doing before he got there?
Losing,
exactly, losing. And then what they do when he got there?
Was all, Kyrie, man, come on. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
We could go down the rabbit hole, but it's true, man. We love Kyrie on this show.
What else do we have next?
Now, wide receiver Stephon Diggs and Bills reportedly agreed to massive contract extension. Hate it or love it?
I love it.
I hate it. I wanted him on Dallas. I was ready for the Diggs brother show. I was ready, so I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. I'm glad he paid. Hate it.
Now, Zion Williamson's stepdad expects Pelican star to play before season's end. Hate it or love it?
Oh my goodness,
this is weird.
Yeah, we talked about Zion Williamson a little earlier, but here's the thing about it: if he think about it, is like, all right, Zion, you might as well just hang it up till next season, man. There's no reason to come out and play for 1 game, 2 games. Yeah,
Pelicans not going nowhere. It's
give it up,
pointless.
Give it up,
very
Zion,
pointless.
Give it up.
And when he's been rehabbing for forever, why? Like what?
Yeah, like to play 1 game, 1 playing game, and possibly a playoff series.
Yeah,
get re-injured. Get re-injured.
What it is. All right, another great show today, y'all. We appreciate everybody who tuned in on today's show. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for watching us on at the W Show KC, listening to us on One Kansas City Radio, 100.1 FM. We thank you to Rally House, Power and Light District. Remember, you can grab you a couple of these KU shirts. The parade is tomorrow. We will be live at Rally House in Lawrence en masse tomorrow. Catch us from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be out there hanging out. The parade starts at 2. So if you're not doing much, you're a KU fan, drive on down to Lawrence for the parade. Starts at 2 tomorrow. Until next week, we are out of here.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.